Alright. Here's how I actually make a living as an artist. The short answer is royalties. I don't sell any beats. I'm not making any money from producing for other artists, or at least not money that's not royalties. And I currently don't even sell any sample packs, as I think everyone does in 2022 at this point. My only income is royalties, and I should probably diversify that a little bit more in the future. So make sure to subscribe to my channel so that I can get that YouTube money as well. But you're not here for me to talk about myself. You want to know how I got there. Understandably so. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good life so far. Except for the anxiety when your songs don't get picked up on playlists, all the hassle, the sweat, the sleepless nights, the trying to fix that one snare drum to make it sound good. You know what? Just don't watch that video, get a real job and be done with it. Bye-bye. You're still here and you want to know how I got there? I'll explain it in this video. Here's 5 things to know when wanting to make music with royalties. Release regularly. Release regularly. Release regularly. In order to make a living, and I'm talking like full income living, whatever that's measured in, from my beats, I need to release my music very often, very regularly. I remember when starting in 2018, 2019, I released 1 beat per month and I was like, wow, that's insane. I'm on a roll. Yeah, that's not good enough. You gotta release more often, because the more often you release, the more you increase your chance on getting on playlists, which is number 2. Get on those playlists. I started with smaller playlists, like I submitted music on SubmitHub and other portals where you can, you know, pitch your music to like playlisters and other editors for them to consider it for their oftentimes smaller playlists. Some of them are pretty huge, but I took any type of success that I could in the beginning just to get over that nasty 1K threshold, you know. Some artists I know start releasing with labels right away, and that's fair. I'll also get to that in a second. However, I recommend to at least do your first couple of tracks independently, just to in order to get good grip on what your sound is supposed to be like. And of course, anytime you're releasing music, don't snooze on the Spotify for Artists submit function. Do it early on, at least like 2 weeks in advance, in order to have that opportunity to be heard by the actual official Spotify editors. By the way, I just made a video on how I got to my first 1 million streams on Spotify, so I'm gonna link that up there and at the end of the video. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. And also let me know down in the comments if you want me to make a video on how I pitch my music to Spotify, so that you can sort of follow along, you know. The third point is work with labels. I feel like we've touched on most of that already, but many labels have name recognition. So when releasing a track with a label, the editors at Spotify, Apple Music, they might recognize the name of the label and already have a connection, even though they might not know who you are. You're giving away a share of your royalties. That's always something to consider, but you have a brand that is connected to your brand, which might already be recognized by the editors, which is ultimately where you make your money from. You make your money from plays. And to get many plays, you want many ears. And to get many monies, you want to have many plays. And I've recently launched my own label as well. Check out Misa Records. The cool thing with Misa is we're donating half of our income as a label to environmental organizations. So if you're a lo-fi producer and you want to be part of the movement, send us an email. The address is in the description. My 4th tip for you, and that's something that really made the difference for me to get started with my career, is to collaborate with other artists. And I feel like I explained that pretty well in my other video, 1 million streams on Spotify video. So let me play that back to you. You can't do this alone. But you can collaborate with others. And I'm talking about artists, and I'm talking about independent labels. When you look at my streams, most of my tracks actually have tons of streams, like Indigo and Coastal Drift. They are collaborations with other artists. I mean, now you might be wondering, but yo, that one that has actually 1 million streams, 1.5 almost, that top track called Blossoms, that's actually just me. No label, no other artists, just dive in. That's right. But my path to getting there was thanks to collaborating with other artists and independent labels in part. Moving on to tip number 5, getting feedback from others. So you can already tell most of what I'm mentioning in this video is that you can't do it alone. You cannot really do all of that and make a living with your music without, to a certain extent, relying on others, or at least getting in touch with others, collaborating, making cool things together, really. I mean, to me, honestly, making music with other people is the most fun. It's like as fun as it gets. So it's not even just just like about the numbers or all of that. It's just whenever I make like a track and then I get like a trumpet or a guitar from someone else, or someone sends me some chords or a drum loop and I can hop onto that, that's actually where my job is at its best. And I can't believe I can call this my actual job now. But get that feedback from others. Find people that you trust, you know, get into conversations with people, which is also like on how to collaborate with others. Don't just like try to make a quick buck, try to actually make a good connection with people, and then ask them for feedback on your new track. Ask your audience on social media for feedback. It helps you to stay humble. Maybe you think your track is the best, but it might not even end up in a playlist. It happened to me before many times. Why? Because maybe something was missing to that track. Maybe it was pretty good, but it was just not quite there yet, you know? So get feedback from others, helps you to stay humble, helps you to really not assume that just because you have a relatively successful career, not every of your tracks will get millions of streams. So another great way to get feedback, in my opinion, is to use tools like SubmitHub, where you actually submit music to other people, get opinions from them. You pay like $1 to $3 per submission. And I know that is quite a touchy subject for a lot of people, because some of the feedback you get is not that great. But sometimes, you know, you see where the trends are, what people tend to say about your music. Sometimes some of the feedback is trash. I'm just gonna say it. But sometimes you get like 5 times the same reply and people are like, I didn't like the melody. Or one of my earliest feedback was, I want a stronger melody. I want more of a present melody, because I was more like, you know, playing chords and not really like topping that with anything. If 5 people think that, probably 50 people will think that, and probably the people who are the gatekeepers to the biggest playlists out there might also feel that same way. So get feedback from others, find your trusted people, whether if it's in your personal circle, find people who are daring enough to criticize you in a helpful way. And I like to call it constructive feedback, because it should always help you in some way, even if it's telling the truth, saying, well, that wasn't the greatest track you ever made. It helps you. It's not fun, but it definitely helps you in the long run. And with that rhyme, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Next video will be how to get on Spotify playlists, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.